Hi everybody, I'm gonna be making some delicious enfrijoladas for breakfast. This is a recipe that originated in the beautiful state of Oaxaca, Mexico. Enfrijoladas are cousins to the enchiladas, but enchiladas are made with chili peppers, whereas enfrijoladas are made with beans. It's a very easy recipe to prepare, and I'm gonna show you how to make it step by step. Let's get started. I've got 3 cups of freshly made pinto beans, and I've got some broth in here too. Now, you can use black beans, you can use pinto beans from a can, but you have to doctor them up a little bit. But this is what I'm gonna be using to make my enfrijoladas. And I'm also gonna add 2 Roma tomatoes that I cut up into pieces, 1 medium onion, 3 chipotle peppers with 3 tablespoons of adobo sauce, and 2 large garlic cloves that I have minced fine. And I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. So now let's go to the stove. So I've got my heat set on medium. I'm gonna be adding a little bit of vegetable oil, about a tablespoon, just like that. I'm gonna add my onions. And I'm just gonna move them around until they get a little translucent. Now, as you can see, my onions are starting to look really nice and soft, just like this, but yet they're still a little firm. Now, I'm gonna add my garlic. I have 2 garlic cloves right here, finely minced, and these were big garlic cloves. I'm gonna move them around like this so that they can release their flavor into the oil with the onions. You don't wanna leave your garlic in here too long because you don't wanna burn it. So it'll be just 1 minute. Now I'm gonna add my tomatoes. Now I could have gotten all these ingredients and just added them into the blender with my beans, but there's something about putting them in here first. I think they release their flavor in with the oil, and the garlic really releases it better than when it's just blended. So that's why I like to go through this first. So now that my tomatoes have released some of their flavor, as you can see down at the bottom, see? Now it's all coming together really nicely. I'm gonna add my garlic powder and my onion powder. I have 1/4 teaspoon of each. Now I'm adding it in there because it just intensifies the flavor a little bit more. And I'm also gonna add 1 cup of water. I've got hot water right here in my tea kettle, and I'm gonna add it in here. See? Ooh, and it smells beautiful in here with the garlic powder and the garlic in here and the onions. All of this is just gonna be delicious in with my beans. So now that I brought it all in together like this, I'm gonna lower my temperature to low. I'm gonna replace my lid, and I'm gonna let it simmer here for about 5 minutes. So I'm getting ready to blend all my ingredients in the blender. Here is a mixture that I just made on the stove. Ooh, it's like a beautiful soup. I'm gonna add my beans into the blender. And I'm gonna blend them first. And that's good. See how nice and creamy it is? See? So now I'm gonna add my mixture of tomato and onions. And now I'm gonna add my 3 chipotle peppers and 3 tablespoons of adobo sauce. Ooh, this is smoky, and it's gonna add so much flavor to these beans. Now I'm gonna blend it up really good. And I think this is perfect. Ooh, you see the texture? This is the way we want it to be. Now I didn't add any salt because my beans were just perfect with the salt, but I will be adjusting that later. Now that this is done and ready, we can go to the stove. Now I've got my heat set just a little bit lower than medium. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of bacon grease. You see, I always keep some of this handy. Now you can leave it out if you want, but I put it in here because it gives this bean sauce a delicious flavor. And you know what I'm talking about. with the bacon grease and beans. Oh man. And you know, I made my beans with a big ham hock, so the flavor is just out of this world. Now that my bacon grease has melted really well, I'm gonna add my bean mixture in here. Now the whole idea is to make this bean sauce taste delicious, because you want your enfrijoladas to just be out of this world. You don't want them to be bland. I'm gonna keep it at a low simmer. Once I see a bubble here and there, I'm gonna bring it down to a low simmer, because we don't wanna refry them. We only wanna keep them warm. Bean sauce is simmering over here on low, and every now and then I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna give it a nice little stir, because you don't want it to get stuck from the bottom, and it shouldn't, because it's on low simmer, but you wanna keep an eye on it anyway. I've got some cooking oil in here, and it's nice and hot, and I'm getting ready to fry my tortillas. Now I'm gonna be using these corn tortillas. You can use any brand that you like. As soon as you start to see the bubbles forming, it's ready to come out. See, the bubbles are starting to form. I give it just one turn like this, and now I'm gonna get it out. Now I've had some friend followers who have asked me what kind of tortillas I use, because their tortillas break or they come apart when they're into the oil. I think that the trick is to leave it in here quickly on high heat, just long enough until it starts to bubble. And once you see that, you wanna give them a quick turn like this. Now as you can see, the little bubbles are forming there. Now it's ready to come out. Now many of you might not want to put your tortillas in any oil. Now the reason that we put it into the hot oil is because the hot oil brings out the flavor of the corn in the tortilla, and then they are delicious enfrijoladas. So it's up to you if you want to put them into the oil like this, or if you just want to warm them up on your griddle. I'm going to continue the process until I'm done with all my tortillas. I'm gonna start on my breakfast filling. I'm gonna put in a little bit of cooking oil, about a tablespoon. Now I'm gonna add my onions. Just like this. And I'm gonna move them around for about 1 minute. So it's been about 1 minute. I've got 2 jalapenos that I have removed the seeds and diced into small little pieces like this, and I'm just gonna move them around just for a little bit, just to bring it all in together. Now I'm gonna add my chorizo. I have 1 cup of my homemade chorizo right here. You always want to make sure that your chorizo is well cooked, and I added a little bit of oil because my chorizo is very nice and lean. So my chorizo is very thoroughly cooked, just like this, see? So now I'm gonna beat my eggs. I've got 6 large eggs right here. I'm gonna go ahead and beat them. I'm gonna add a little salt to my eggs. Now I'm gonna put my egg mixture into my skillet. And I'm just gonna bring it in together and let the eggs cook. You don't wanna burn your eggs. See? Give your eggs a little bit of time to curdle. So now that my eggs are still a little bit wet is the time when I add my tomatoes. I'm gonna bring it all in together like this and turn off the heat. And it'll continue cooking with the heat that it has. Now I've got a little bit of cilantro. I'm gonna put just a little bit of cilantro in here. That's optional if you don't wanna add it. And our chorizo and egg filling is ready. Now we can assemble our enfrijoladas. The bean sauce is delicious. It's just perfect. Now we're ready to assemble them. Here are the tortillas. I'm gonna pass it through my bean sauce like this. See? Put it right here on this plate. Now I'm gonna put some of my chorizo filling. Just like that. Then you're gonna roll it up. See? And I'm gonna pass it over to this plate right here. So there's one. It's a little bit messy, but it's worth it. See? Put some of our chorizo filling. This. My Ron just loves this for breakfast. He cannot pronounce enfrijolada too well, but he gets the point across when he wants them. See? Pass this over. Just like that. And here we are. See? Now for our toppings. I've got some sour cream. Now you can use crema, but my Ron loves the sour cream. Just like that. Now I'm gonna put some queso fresco. You can just put as much as you want. A few tomatoes. See? And I've got some fresh onions that are diced. You can leave them out if you don't like onions, but we love onions. And I've got some avocado that I cut into little cubes like this. A little bit of cilantro on top. We just cannot have them without cilantro. Oh man. Oh, look at this. See? Oh my gosh. These enfrijoladas are absolutely delicious. It's a very inexpensive dish. I'm sure the whole family would love it. And you can fill them with anything that you want to fill them with. From cheese to a breakfast filling to chicken, anything you want. So these are my enfrijoladas for breakfast with chorizo and eggs. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. Send me a comment and tell me what you think and share with your friends. Thank you.